Right. A very good morning to every one of us all. Good morning, all. I'm going to be our pilot for this morning's morning market review. My name is Akodiola Kome Joshua. Okay, we're still in the period of a new season. Yeah, a new year. So I'm wishing us a happy new year once again. And I also pray that this year it's going to be a wonderful year in trading for us. We're going to be making more profit and less of losses, more profit. In fact, if possible, we can make profit all through without any loss. That's what I pray for us. So I'm saying a very good morning to us all. Afolabi Aisha Ayomide. I can say Alfonso Ikediashi, Chinedu Osaji, can say Christopher, Gaia Matthew, Good Friday, Good Friday, Asemot, I can see Harrison, Agba, Idris, Badamasi, okay, John Caleb, Rotimi Adeboye, Abejoye, yeah, Rotimi Abejoye, Paul Ede. I can see somebody bearing the name S. Please kindly put your full name so we can address you rightly. It's going to help, you understand? And Sojifa Muruti, I can also see and Soji Obilano, Temitope Akin Dele, Yusuf Rashidat. I know a lot of us um here. So I'm just wishing us a happy new year once again and good morning to everybody. Please, if you can hear me loud and clear, please kindly go to the chat section and just drop it down there and say loud and clear. So I'll know you all can hear me clearly. Now that I'm talking to myself. So Adedoye Asha, please. Yeah, good morning. Yes, good morning to you all. Please kindly go to the chat section, the chat box, drop it there if you can hear me loud and clear. That's okay, loud and clear. Just give you a sign that you can hear me loud and clear. So I will understand. I will know that yes, everybody is getting me. And if you're not hearing me, then we'll know the next step to take. Okay. I can see from Chinedu Osaji is saying loud and clear. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. If you can also hear me from your own end, let me know. So it means Mr. Chinedu is hearing me. Everything is fine from his end and my end. So if you're not hearing me clearly, it means the issue it's not from my end, but from your end. Maybe it's your network or something. So kindly okay, check your network if that is not happening now. Yes. All right. So, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. It's been a wonderful, wonderful weekend to us all. Okay. Um, so yes, this morning we're going to be looking at what the market is going to be saying. Uh, in terms of if the market is going to be going up or coming down. Look at how the market ended last week. Last week Friday we had NFP, and yes, it came out well for the market, and there was reactions to it, and so we begin to look at it again this week and see is the market going to continue in that line or there's going to be a reversal. You understand? Based on what we're seeing on the chart and maybe some of the things that's happened in the economy, we'll get to know better what is happening exactly. You understand? We get to know what exactly is happening or what is going to happen. We begin to look at this market to understand. Okay. So first thing first, let me share uh my screen so that we can see. I'm going to be sharing my screen to also see some certain things. I will start with the fundamental aspect, like we all know. So let's go to last week first. Let's go back to last week. Let's go back in time a little. Yes, on Friday. So let's look at what happened on Friday. Looking at it from forexfactory.com, you discover that, yeah, the news came out on Canadian dollars and the dollars by 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon. And you discover for Canadian dollar, it came out good. The actual was good. The unemployment rate too was good. Look at it. Employment change, it means the number of people that were employed was on the high side. Unemployment rate, the set of people are unemployed now reduced, which is good for the economy. You understand? Saying that the economy is thriving, they are doing well. You understand? So for the news, for that to come out good, it means for instrument like Canadian dollars, JPY, it would have been good to place what a buy. The market will move up. You understand? But for the USD, let's look at it. The average hourly earnings month to month came out neutral, you understand, equals to what was forecasted. And if you look at it that way, most of the time we say that when the news comes out black, that's neutral, but at the same time, it's still a partial buy. We expect it to move up. Then for the non-farm employment change and the unemployment rate, it came out good, very good for the economy. So, and that was what battered the swift movement of current instruments like Euro USD going down, USD JPY moving up, you understand? And after the whole move of the move, there were some other things. And we discovered that even but by 4 p.m., we had the news coming out on prelim, University of Michigan, consumer sentiment and inflation expectation. You understand? And we discovered that that came out negative and neutral too. Well, that's for that. But the main news of the day was the NFP. So let's look at our chart and see what happened there. Okay, so going to Euro USD now, I'm going to be sharing my chart with us on this particular one. Let's see. Okay, so Euro USD, I'm on the chart now, and I believe we all can see it. You discover that this was the chart, and look at it. It came down, straight down. It came down straight. It got to this particular section. Then after that, there was a reversal. You understand? A reversal, more or less like a retracement. And after the whole retracement, we discovered that it came down to that same spot again. Even this morning, we can see that it's still around the same spot. Because when it went back or pushed up and it ranged a little around that point, but as of this morning, it's back to this particular zone again. You understand? So based on the whole thing, we discovered that the news came out good for USD, and yes, as of this morning, it still expected that same move. But let's look at the currency strength meter. Let's see what exactly the strength of what exactly is the strength of these currencies. Let's see. So look at it. I'm coming that point. Okay. Okay, for the currency strength meter, we can see as of this morning, the strongest of all instruments as of this morning, based on what we're seeing on the currency strength meter, is the JPY followed by NZD, like we're seeing now. And it's also showing a green arrow indicating that the currency is gaining strength, while the USD is showing a red arrow. Now it means it's dropping in terms of strength, you understand? AUD, Canadian dollar, CHF, they all have the red arrow saying that they are dropping in strength. The weakest of them all as of this morning, based on what we're seeing now, is the pounds, you understand? The British pounds, that's the weakest of them all. But the strongest is JPY, followed by NZD, then the US dollars. Okay? So based on what we're seeing, the dollars as of this morning is weak. You understand? It's getting weaker or weak this morning. But that doesn't really mean or affects the market because there could be a change at any point, you understand? So let's look at what is happening as of this morning now. We've seen what happened last week. So let's see what is going to happen this morning. Do we have any information that is going to be released or that it is to be released that will move the market? And whoa, as of this morning, it's showing that on the JPY, that's Japanese yen, they're on all-day bank holiday. So yes, it means since they're on all-day bank holiday, what's that saying? Is it saying that the JPY it's not going to be moving or it's not will not be able to trade it? No, yes, we can still trade it, but what we should expect is the strength at which is going to move is not going to be there because they are all on holiday. So it's more or less like a background movement. A slow movement is what we're going to be feeling on the JPY, except if the currency it's paired with has something that it will trigger it to move. If there's going to be a strong economic issue that comes up, then it will move. Then we have the CNY, that's new loans, and that's for the Chinese yuan. And yes, we do not have the Chinese yuan on our own trading platform, you understand? So for today, there's no serious news coming out on currencies. All right, so let's look at what is going to be happening technically. Now, like we all know the drill, we'll start with currencies. And after look at all currencies, move down to commodities, then indices. And after which I will be given the opportunity to point out some of the instruments you want me to look at. And yes, if there's still more time, maybe there's questions and you ask and be able to answer. So first thing first, let's go to our chart and see. Okay, we'll start. Euro USD it is. I'm on Euro USD, yes. Okay. and this is on my 1 hour time frame. Basically, if we look at it right from time, even before this whole drop on Euro USD, before now, we discovered that at a point it did a double top. There was a double top at a point. Now you see that double top was a good information for us to know that yes, this market was going to sell. You understand? Look at it from this section. Okay, it's the double top here. And at this point, we know that, yes, this market was going to sell. That's one zone. After which it came down to this particular zone. At this zone, it ranged between these 2 points. Now, let me put it out for us to see. And you see, we've always made us to understand something. For a ranging market, it's a correction zone. Ranging markets are correction zones, you understand? But the very moment it breaks out of one zone, successfully, you should know that that's the direction it's going to take. And that was what happened. Immediately news came out, it came down. After the retracement, it went back to that same point and was unable to break it. And that's what has battered it now, is at this point. But let's look at it. Let me zoom out a little so we'll see something. Looking at it where price is currently, we discover that this particular section is a demand zone, that is a support zone. It's a support zone. Now, this is a support zone. Now, this demand zone, it is expected for price to buy. Is expected for price to buy. You understand? We're waiting for price to do what? To buy. But if the reverse is the case, then it might not buy. You see? You're still with us. I'm trying to make us see sometimes certain things based on past market action. When was the last time price got to this particular zone? What did it do exactly? This is on my 1 hour time frame. And looking at it, we discover that it's been a long time price got to this particular section. So at that zone, I'm expecting price to do what? To push back up. I'm expecting price to push back up. You understand? That's what I feel from the whole do, because it's been a long time price got to this particular section where it is now. So it's expected. And if you look at it based on 1 hour, 4 hours time frame, it's been more of a downward trend. It's been giving us a downward trend. Now, this particular section where it is, I'm expecting price of euros to gain strength, to gain momentum and what push back up. But if the reverse is the case, now, if for any reason dollars is able to gather more strength, more momentum, and it breaks below this particular section, it breaks below this particular zone we are saying, then it should continue selling. It should continue selling. But if that is not the case, I'm expecting price to push back up. I'm expecting price to push back up on Euro USD. This is on my 1 hour time frame now, so we can see it. I'm expecting price to push up. But if that is not the case, because basically based on what we're seeing that currently now there's no strength in movement, is still struggling at this point now. So if price continues to move down and it breaks below this particular section that has been pointed out for us, I'm expecting it to continue the sell movement, the downward movement, you understand? The bearish movement. But if it's able to get momentum and it pushes up, yes, we all know that, yes, there are all these zones, and all we need to do is to look out for the zones at the top of this area, you understand? And if it's able to break above those sections, then there should be a continuation, you understand? So I'm expecting the price of Euro USD to do what? To move up. But if that is not the case, there could be a continuation downward, you understand? Okay, that's my take on Euro USD. So we'll move to GBP USD. Let's look at GBP USD. Let's see what is happening on GBP USD. Okay, basically on GBP USD, we still discover it's almost the same movement now, still the downward trend on my 1 hour time frame. And at this particular session, price has got into a support zone here, and basically we're expecting price to gain some momentum to push back up. You understand? But yes, it still might not happen that way. Basically, it might not happen that way. Price might not gain that strength for it to move back up. It might continue downwards. But this is it. On my 1 hour time frame, basically where price is resting, like we all know, is a support. So let's hold on for price to break out of this particular session here. Okay. Let me point it out. I'm expecting price to, if price is able to break above this particular section, I'm expecting it to push up. But if that does not happen, If that does not happen, I'm expecting price to go up and break above this session, but if that does not happen, then there should be a continuation in the trend. See, looking at it, okay, I'm going to my 4-hour time frame now. We'll discover that it's still be on the same, it's on the same path. It's been more of downward trend. Daily time frame, let's see. It's more of a downward trend. It's been moving down, 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 down. Even on the okay, based on what we are seeing on the weekly time frame now, we'll discover that around this point is close to a demand zone on the weekly time frame. You understand? So unless it's able to get to that point and there's a rejection, if there's a rejection, then we expect it to go back up. But if that is not the case, there might be a continuation down to this particular session here. This is on my weekly time frame, please. You might see a continuation of the downward movement, you understand, to this particular point. Understand? But based on what we're seeing from 1 hour, 4 hours, and the likes, it's been a downward trend. It's been a downward trend. So let's hold on and see. If it's to continue on this downward trend, let it break below this particular shaded point and close below it successfully. Then we can go for our sell. But if that is not the case, we have to hold on and have a clear movement for a buy. You understand? Okay. So that's my take on GBP USD. Okay, so let's look at USD card. USD card. USD card. And basically we'll see it here now. Look at more of it did almost something like a double bottom here around this point. Yes, 1, 2, and after that it pushed back to the upside and it's been moving up. And just like we all know, this morning we checked our currency strength meter and we're seeing that price has been on currency strength meter, dollars has actually gained some strength, even though it's dropping as of this morning based on what we're seeing. And if we look at the trend, it's been moving up. So that's what I'm plotting for us to see. Look at it. It's been moving up. So basically, I am expecting price to still do what? Move up. But looking at it from this point, there's a zone here. So if this price should get to this particular session here, I'm expecting a rejection. So even if you're to enter a buy now, I'm not expecting any massive movement. So I'll kindly advise we hold on for price to get to this particular point. And from this particular section here, if price is able to get to this point into this zone, as far as price is unable to break out of this zone here, I'm expecting price to sell. From this point, I'm expecting a downward movement. You understand? I'm expecting price to sell. And if price is going to sell, if it gets towards this trend, there might be a little itch. You understand? There might be a little itch around this point. So we should what I would just advise is we should hold on for it to break below this particular session. If we enter our sell from this point, once it gets to this point, we can close it as our first TP. But if the strength of price continues to push down, then yes, we're expecting it could get to this particular zone here, and we could close it at that point. We expect price to drop to this particular zone. So let's hold on for price to get into this supply zone, after which we do what? We sell. Let's hold on for price to get into this zone. Then from that point, we can go for our sell. But if that is not the case, and if it gets into this point now and it begins to range, we do what? We wait, because ranging market, we all know it's a correction market. So it could break out either to the upside or the downward side. You understand? And please kindly note, when we're talking about technicals, just like we said, technicals has to do with patience. We have to be very, very patient. You must learn how to wait. And so once you're able to wait, then you enjoy the real deal out of it. You understand? That's just the move on technicals. So for these, our advisors, USD card, wait for price to get into this supply zone. At this supply zone, if it's unable to break above it, then we know what next to do. Go for our sell. Okay. Okay, let's look at the next instrument is USD JPY. USD JPY. Okay. USD JPY, based on what we are saying now, we discovered that price is at this particular zone here. So This is a demand zone currently, and price is having issues around this point. Yes. Looking at what we're saying, price is having issues around this point. And even if price is to go down, even if price is to go down, let's hold on for it to break below this particular zone here successfully. If that should happen, then we're expecting price to do what? To get to this particular zone here around this point. But if the reversal is the case, then it should move back up. You understand? But as of this morning, we all know that yes, the market might be so funny. You understand? Might be funny based on the fact that USD is also dropping strength. So, but from what we're saying, let's wait for it. Let's wait for it because there might be a little. You discover that price has been respecting this zone. It's been ranging within this zone, touching it, going back up, touching it, going back up. So if it's unable to break below it successfully, I'm expecting a reversal. But if that does not happen, if it breaks below this particular session, then we're expecting it to get down to this point. Then around this point, we could look out for what? For a buy. Because at that point, it's now at a demand zone. Around this particular session now, we could look out for a buy. If that is if price is able to break down below this point. So around this zone, we should look for a buy. Price should reverse back to the upside. You understand? Price should buy. Okay. So that's that on USD JPY. USD JPY. So let's look at the next instruments. Let's go for USD CHF. Okay, let's look at USD CHF. USD CHF. Okay. So looking at the USD CHF is on a particular high now. And you discover that price when it got to that high, it rejected and came back down. So it's going to start having. Okay, I'm pulling it out for us to see now. I'm drawing that zone. So at this particular zone, this is a supply zone as of now. But where price is as of this morning, it's more or less like it's been done. It's trying to create a new zone around this point. So what we need to do is to wait for it. Yes, wait for it to do what? To give you a clear cut, a clear direction. So it's either it goes back to the upside and break above that zone and continue moving up, then the supply zone now becomes a demand zone. You understand? Or it reverses back down and breaks below this particular zone you're seeing here and starts selling. But basically, I'm expecting price to still do what? To still push up on USD CHF. I'm expecting price to still push up on USD CHF. And we shouldn't forget, this week, by 20th, yes, by 20th, we're going to be having Donald Trump taking the position back. Okay, that will be next week, Monday. Exactly. By Monday, Donald Trump will be. We're expecting that dollars should gain some strength, some momentum on that day. That will be by next week, Monday, exactly. Okay, that's that for that. But on USDC, I'm still like push up, but let's wait for it to get into the zone and break above it successfully. Then we can go for our buy. Okay, that's that for USD CHF. All right. All right, so we'll move to commodities now. We're moving to commodities. Just like we all know, commodities, like I told us, are economic instruments. Yes, we have the likes of gold and the likes that appeared with dollars in the market, and they have an inverse reactions to dollars. They have inverse reaction to dollars. So if dollars is going up, they are going down. Dollars is going down, they are going up. But at the same time, for instrument like gold, they are known as safe haven, and that's why you see for some reasons or the other, you discover that when dollars is going up, you see gold also doing what? Also going up. Yeah, and that may be due to tension and the likes and every other thing. Okay, but let's look at gold. Let's see what is going to be happening on gold. Let's see what is going to happen on gold. Okay, so if you look at what we are saying now, we discover that gold has been moving upwards. It's been moving up based on what we're seeing on the trend. Okay, as at 6th from yes, from the 6th of January, based on what we're seeing, it's been moving up. It's been moving up. Based on what we're seeing from the 6th of January, it's been moving up, expecting that trend. You understand? It's been more of buy. And I'm still expecting the price of gold to still move up. So even if it's dropping, it's just a little reversal. After that, it should pick up momentum and continue its upward movement. It should continue moving up. You understand? So I'm expecting price once from this particular session here. I'm expecting a reversal back to the upside on gold from this particular point where we're seeing here. I'm expecting price of gold to still push back up. Once price gets into this zone, as far as it does not break below this particular trend here, I'm expecting it to push up. I'm expecting it to push up. So let's wait out for it to drop into this particular session if we want to go for our buy. As far as it's unable to break below this section, I'm expecting it to do what? To buy. I'm expecting it to buy. So my take on gold is still what? Buy, but we need to hold on for it to drop into that zone first before we can go for that buy. That's my take on gold. Yes. And this is on my 1 hour time frame, please. So I'm waiting for, we can wait for price to get into this zone, then push forward, buy. That's that on gold. Okay. Let's look at oil. Let's look at oil. Okay, oil. All right. Oils. So looking at what we're seeing, as of now, oil is at a new high. If you look at it, it's around it's 1.7. Now, this is it. At this particular session now, I'll be expecting oil to drop. Expecting oils to what? To drop. I'm expecting oils to what? To drop. Yes. I'll be going for a bearish movement. I'll pitch my tent with the bears on oil because it's been moving for a while to the upside, upside, upside. It has gotten to this particular high now. I'm expecting a little reversal, even if it's going to continue the upward trend. First, I'm expecting price to drop. And as you can see, between these 2 points, around this point, there was, okay, let's look at it. This was, so as a Friday, which was on the 10th. See, the market closed a little bit, it closed a little bit bullish here. Now, by this morning, there was a gap. Look at it, it gapped up to this point. And since then, price has been dancing between these 2 points. It's more of a ranging market as of this morning. Between these 2 points, price has been ranging. You understand? So, yes, if I'm to pitch my tent, I'm expecting price to drop. But that's my own opinion. But basically, like we all know, whenever price begins to range, it's more or less like it wants to what? It wants to correct itself based on what it has done. Now, I am expecting price to do what? To drop. You understand? That's my own opinion. But if we are to follow the ranging, let it pick its definite direction, either to continue moving up or down, which is what? We should allow it to break below this particular zone or above. And once it closes above that particular zone or below that particular zone, we do what? We follow its direction. And I see it moving in that light. You understand? So if it breaks down and it closes down, that's below this particular zone, we can go for our sell. While if it goes up and closes above that the zone there, we can go for what? A buy. You understand? But yes, if I'm to pitch my tent based on my own opinion, I expect it to go down. I expect it to what? To go down. That's my take on that, on oils. Okay. All right. So let's do one more commodity. Let's look out wheat. Okay, wheat. Let's go for wheat. Let's go for wheat. Let's go for wheat. All right, I'm on wheat now. on wheat. And as of now, wheat is not actually giving us any clear cut. See, it's not giving us a definite direction. Okay, based on what we're saying, this is on my 1 hour time frame. Okay, but if we look at the trend, we'll see that it's been dropping. Now let me plot it out for us to see. This was the highest point it got to, and since then it's been dropping. So let's look at it. Okay, all right, based on this trend now, let's give it that still with us, please. Just trying to draw this so we could see. Okay, so look at it. Price of wheat has been dropping based on what we are seeing on this trend on my 1 hour time frame. Yes, based on what we've been seeing on my 1 hour time frame, it's been dropping and it's been respecting this zone. You understand? Based on what we're saying, it's been respecting the zone. Yes, so even if price is going to drop now, I still expect it to get back to this particular trend and what? Respect it. I still expect it to respect that particular trend there. I'm expecting it to respect it and what? Reverse back to the upside. You understand? So once it gets down now, the whole thing that it's going to happen is the worst of all is for it to get down to this particular session. Once it gets down to this particular session, there should be a reversal back to the upside. And once it gets to this trend, it should respect it. So I'm expecting it to drop down first. I'm expecting price of it to drop down to this point. In fact, even cover up for this particular gap that we are seeing that has happened. If he's able to cover up for it and it gets down to this point, then we're expecting to go for a buy here. Or if the reversal is the case, it gets to this particular trend, respects the trend, then what? Drops down. You understand? So these are the two options. What might likely happen on the chart? Either it gets to the trend first, respects the trend and drop, or covers for this gap down, then reverses back to the upside. You understand? Now for this trend that it's been respecting, the very moment it breaks it, that's when there's going to be a change. You understand? In the whole move. But if that is not the case, then it should respect the whole deal of what the zones that we are seeing. Okay, so that's that on wheat. That's that on wheat. That's my take on wheat. So let's look at some indices now. Let's look at some indices. Yeah. So first thing first, let's look at US 100. Let's look at US 100 with us. US 100. US 100. All right. So if we look at it, we discover that on 1 hour, US 100 has actually been dropping for a while now. The strength of indices has been dropping for a while. It's been going down, 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 down. Now it has gotten to this particular support now. And it's looking like it wants to start ranging. You understand? Based on what we are saying here at this point. Based on what we're saying at this point now, it's beginning to look as if price wants to range. In fact, okay, let me pull it to this point. From this particular section, it's looking like price wants to what? To range. And let's look at based on past actions. When was the last time price got to this point? Let's see if we're able to locate it. Yes. Let's zoom it out. Yes, you see, the last time price got to that same point, it was more or less like price ranged around that section before it now reversed back and started going up. Even though, based on what we were saying, price was going up at this point. In fact, price first dropped to that particular zone, went below it, then came back to that same section, ranged a little and started reversing back up. And since then, it's been going up. And let's see, that's been since when I'll say since last year. Yes, since last year, that's been the movement. You understand? When it got to that point, this happened since last year, November. Now, this year again, it's around that same zone. This year is around that same zone. So is expected, I'm expecting price to do what? Just like I said, I'm expecting it might range a little around this point. Then there should be a reversal back to the upside. You understand? There should be a reversal back to the side. Okay, so let's hold on for it to see. But if that is not the case, if it should break below this particular zone that has been uh, plotted out for us to see, if it breaks below it, then we should expect price to drop more on US 100. Expect price to drop more on US 100. But if that is not the case, I'm expecting it to what? To push up. Okay, so that's my take on US 100. Let's look at US 30. Let's look at US 30. US 30. All right. On US 30. And if we look at US 30, we'll discover that it's almost giving us the same um, movement like we saw on US 100. You understand? It's also been on a downward trend at a point. Yes, look at it for a while. It's been dropping, 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 dropping. Then a little bit of the up movement and everything. It still went down. It's still dropping. You understand? Still dropping until it got to this particular low now. And we're seeing that price on this is trying to gain momentum, gain strength to do what? To push back to the upside. So just like the first information, let's hold on for it. This zone has been plotted now. We're expecting for what? For price to do what? To drop into this zone and go below it. You understand? If it's able to go below it successfully, then we know that yes, it's going to sell. But if that is not the case, it could reverse back to the upside. But one of the things I want us to understand is this for these indices. Now, let's take for instance, US 100 is more of tech companies, and you know that these companies are on the US soil. So the US economy and some of the things that happen in the US affects them more. So if you're looking out for tech companies, go and look out for informations on tech. How are they doing? Are they doing well? Now, the way they are doing, if they're doing positively well in whatever it is they are doing, there will be a reaction on the chart. You see a positive reaction on the chart. But if they are not doing well, you also see the reaction where on the chart. You understand? You also see the reaction on the chart. So basically, let's look at some of these indices, what exactly affects them. For some, it's more of just like US 100 that has to do with tech. You understand? For some, it's not of tech. It could be more of appliances, home appliances, and the likes, and many like that. You understand? So we could look out for some of these strong um, news that affects them. And some of these tech companies too, kindly note, whatever happens to them also can affect the chart. Let's take, for instance, NVIDIA now. If something should happen to NVIDIA, you understand, this is a tech company in terms of software and likes. Whatever happens to them, you always see the reaction to even on US 100. You see a very strong reaction on US 100, on the likes of US 2000, like that. They have a very strong say on them. So some of these instruments are affect. So, but let's look at what is going to happen. If it's able to break below this particular session, I'm expecting price to sell. But if that is not the case, there should be a reversal back to the upside. Okay, so let's look at, let's see which other instrument again. Look at US 2000. Let's go for US 2000. After which we'll come back to check D40. Let's look at US 2000 first. US 2000. Minutes. I'm with us. Okay. Okay, US 2000. All right. So this is US 2000. Wow. Still the same line, almost like US 30 in terms of the chart, almost like US 30. So let's hold on for it. Just like I've said, I'm expecting the same move here now, expecting the same move. This is a strong zone. But at the end of the day, they might not all move in the same direction, mind us, but I just want us to understand that yes, currently they are all at a demand zone, a strong demand zone. So for anything to happen, let's wait for it to break below this particular section. But if that does not happen, if the reversal is the case, then we should expect that price should buy on US 2002. So let's look at DE40, the German indices. Let's look at the German indices. Yes, DE40. Let's go for that. DE40. Okay. All right. So on DE40, we discovered that price got to this particular high here. Now there was a rejection around that point. Around this point, there was a rejection. Okay, so now price is getting to another zone here now, and this particular zone is a demand zone. This zone is a demand zone. So yes, this is it. Let's wait for price to break below these points, then we can go for our sell. Very simple. Wait for it to break below that zone, then we can go for a sell. Because the last time it got there, there was a little ranging and it respected that zone and pushed to the upside. So now that it's around that same point, we could experience the same thing. We can see the reaction on candle zero. These are forming candle. We can see the reaction on it. Discover that price has gotten to this section and it's been rejected. Why? Because that point is a zone. So if it's unable to break below this particular section, it's expected for price to do what? To buy. That's the simple analogy there, the simple truth there. We should expect it to what? To buy. If it's unable to break below it, you understand? But if it breaks down, then we can go for our sell. When that is not the case, if it's unable to break down, then it's going to be going up. You understand? So that's that on DE40. Okay, so looking at here chart here, I can see angel saying USD JPY. I've done that before. I've done that on USD JPY. That in fact that was the first instrument I analyzed. But yes, we still have some time. I've done currencies, commodities, and indices. So I'll go back and check it for us. So please, if you have any other instrument you want me to check on, just drop it on the chat. So once I'm done with one, I'll get back to it. Then we look at it. So let's look at USD JPY. Angel, if you're still on USD JPY, yes. Just like we said, looking at where price is currently, price is close to a demand zone, and we can see that zone, price has been expecting it for several minutes, hours now. Price has been touching it and reversing back, and that's why you saw that this point was shaded out for us to see. So what is expected is this: if price is able to break below this particular section, it's expected for price to drop down to this point. But if that is not the case, if it's unable to break below this particular section, if it reverses back, and we can all see the moving average, if it's able to reverse back and close above this moving average, then we should expect, and the next candle closes bullish, we should expect price to do what? To push up. Based on what we're saying now, yes, if this price should reverse back up, and is able to, now kindly note, moving average is also a dynamic zone, you understand? This moving average we're seeing now, as of now, is a dynamic resistance, you understand? A dynamic supply zone. So if price is able to reverse back and it touches this moving average and closes above it, the next candle closes bullish. The next thing you should do is go for your buy. Price is going to buy. Price is going to buy, that's sure. You understand? But if that is not the case, if it keeps on going down and it closes below this particular zone, I'm expecting price to what? To sell. Okay? All right. So that's my take on USD JPY. Okay. John Nyam said we should look at GBP JPY, Euro JPY. Okay. Okay, we'll look at GBP JPY and Euro JPY now. GBP JPY, Euro JPY. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. GBP JPY. Let's start with GBP JPY. I'm coming. Okay, GBP JPY. Nice. I'm on GBP JPY now. All right. On GBP JPY, looking at where price is currently, you discover that price is now at a demand zone, and that's why you're seeing that price is having issues around this point. Price has been going down for a while. Now, this zone where price is a demand zone, and that's why price is having issues there. So what our advice is, let's hold on and see what will happen at that spot. You understand? If Can you see, based on the last information we're seeing, the last time price got to this point, it got rejected. You understand? So this point, this zone here is a demand zone. You understand? So if price is able to go below this particular point that has been shaded for us, it is expected that price will get to this point. Price will get to this particular session here below. You understand? Now, please kindly note, this particular point that is being shaded is a strong demand zone. So if price is able to break below this session, you can come and wait for price here. You could have your pending position here, like your buy limit, for price to pick you up for a buy at this point. You understand? So this is a strong point. But if that is not the case, if price is unable to break below this point, then it could push back up. That's that on GBP JPY. You understand? We're expecting price to fall into this zone and reverse back. But if that is not the case, if it breaks below this point, then we're expecting it to come to this point. So around this point, we could have our buy. You understand? We're waiting for price to get to this point, then we'll go for our buy, and we expect it to what, reverse back to the upside. That's my take on GBP JPY. So let's look at Euro JPY. Euro JPY. Let's go and look at Euro JPY. Euro JPY. And we just place Euro JPY. Okay, Euro JPY. I'm on it. Okay, let me zoom out. This is on my 1 hour time frame, so we could see it well. Okay, so can we see? Yes. So price has gone up for a while now. Now it's getting back down to this point. So around this point is a zone. So let's hold on for price. You see, this is one point here. This is another point where price is. So if price is able to break below this particular session, I'm expecting price to get back to come down. If it's able to close below this section, I'm expecting it to come down to this particular zone. I'm expecting it to get down to this particular zone here. Yes. So come in, we just, okay. So yes, based on what we're saying at this point, if price is able to break below this point, it should come here. Now, around this particular session is a strong, another demand zone. But if it breaks below this demand zone, we're expecting it to get down to this point. So at this section here now, at this section, for long-term traders, at this section, you could have your buy waiting for you. Your buy could be waiting for you. You could do your orders for buy. You understand? So if price is able to buy at this point, then we're expecting it to do what? To go back up. You understand? So at that section, we could hold on for price to what? To buy. So on Euro JPY, wait for it. If it's able to break below this point, then it's going to reverse. But if that does not happen, then it's going to what? To buy. So based on what we're seeing now, around this point, let's wait for it. Price should either break below it, then continue the bearish movement. But if that does not happen, then we're expecting price to do what? To buy. That's that on Euro JPY. Okay. So let's see. V is saying I should look at gold. Okay, gold. Although, let's see. Gold it is then. Okay. Now on gold, just like we said, I'm expecting price to buy on gold. You understand? I've been based on my take, I'm expecting price to still push up on gold. But if you look at it, it's more or less like it's ranging around this zone here because it got to this particular high, it got rejected. Now, since then, it's been having issues around this point. So basically, I'm expecting it to still push up, or if that is not the case, it should come below. And if it breaks below this particular first point, I'm expecting it to get to where this moving average is and reverses back. If it's able to come together and it meets with the moving average, once they come to a meeting point, I'm expecting it to respect it and do what? And reverse back to the upside. That's my take on gold. I'm still expecting price of gold to what? To push up. Understand? My take on gold is for price to what? To push up. Okay, Angel, you're saying time frame, please. Time frame. I use 1 hour. I do my analysis on 1 hour time frame. You understand? The analysis on 1 hour time frame is still the best for everybody. And reason for using 1 hour is this: 1 hour is more or less like a middle point for those that are long-term and short-term traders. It's more of a middle point to them. You understand? So if you want to do your long-term or your short-term, 1 hour is still okay. You understand? In fact, for me, it's still the best. If you want to do that for a middle point for beginners, but for those that are pros, you see them, they can stay on their D1 and everything for long-term trades alone. You understand? They can just do that alone. But time frame 1 hour. Then your last period is that okay? The moving average period is 50, 50 exponential. Apply to close, 50 exponential, apply to close. That's the moving average. So, okay, let me just show you the properties before we move on. So that's the properties of the parameter. Period 50, moving average method is exponential. Apply to close. That's that on it. And this moving average is very, very cool. It's interesting to use if you know how to use it. It's very, very interesting. You understand? Okay, that's that for the moving average. Let's see the next one. Okay, Ekpemsky, you're saying GBP USD. Wow. Okay, let's go. Check it. GBP USD. Let's go there. GBP USD. GBP USD. Yes, I'm on GBP USD now. This is on my 1 hour time frame. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out so we'll see some certain things. Okay. So if you look at it, you discover that price has been dropping for a while on GBP USD. And on getting to this particular point now, price is having issues. Okay. So this is 0.1 zone. I mean, this is a zone, a demand zone for us here. You understand? So let's see what we're going to be seeing on 4 hours. Let's see if that is going to happen. 4 hours too, that is a point, a zone for it. Let's see on daily time frame. Where is it? Okay. So can we see, based on what we're seeing on daily time frame, that point is a zone. You understand? So if it breaks below this particular session now, where it is currently, it is expected to drop on GBP USD. If for any reason it closes below this particular zone we are seeing now, is a strong point. It is what? It is expected for it to what? To drop. Yes. So if price should close below this particular session, I'm expecting it to what? To drop based on what I'm seeing on my daily time frame. You understand? And you can see that price got to that point and it got rejected. You understand? So if price goes below this particular zone and closes below it successfully, then we know the next thing to go for. We know we're going for our sell there. Okay? So that's that on GBP USD. Adeyemi Olalekan, you're saying we should look at wheat. Wheat. Okay. Let's look at wheat. So basically on wheat, based on what I'm seeing, based on the trend, we've seen that it's been on a downward trend and it's been expecting that trend. I remember I drew the trend. Okay, let me do that again. Let's do that again based on what we're seeing on this trend here now. Okay, based on what I'm seeing on this trend. Okay, so okay, so based on this trend now, I'm expecting the price of wheat to push up And once it gets close to this trend, I'm expecting it to respect this trend to do or to still drop. So let's hold on for price to do or to get up to this particular point here now. Come in. Wait for price to get to this particular point. Around this point is a zone. You understand? Around this point is a zone. And okay, let me just show us. Let me see if I can get my horizontal line. Can you see it? So around this point is a zone. You understand? So I'm just expecting if price is able to get into this point, at most if it pushes above this trend, there's another fixed zone there. So it's expected for it to drop. So hold on for price to get to this point. Then around this point, we could go for our sell. You understand? That's that for wheat. That's that for wheat. That's my take on wheat. Okay. Okay. We just have some 4 minutes more that is remaining for the end of the whole day on this morning market review. Do we have any other instrument you want me to look at? I'll give opportunity for one more. I'll give opportunity for one more instrument. Yes, so you have any other instruments you want me to look at? Please kindly drop it on the chat. One more instrument, just one more. The next one. All right, I can see somebody has dropped one. Adiwali said Euro card. Okay, so once look at Euro card, we'll call it a day. So let's go for Euro card. Euro card it is then. Euro card. Euro card. Right, I'm on Euro card. And if you look at Euro card, based on what you're seeing on 1 hour time frame, look at it now. Price is at a demand zone. Basically, this is a demand zone for price. See, the last time it got there, price reversed back up. So I'm expecting price to do what? To drop into this zone now fully. Once it drops into this zone, there should be a rejection. So if price is able, if it drops into this zone and it's being rejected back to the upside and it goes back up, then Euro card, I'm expecting a buy. But if that is not the case, based on what we were saying from the last time, if that is not the case, if for any reason price should close below this zone, then we should expect it to drop down. We should expect it to drop what? To drop down. But if you respect this zone, it's expected for price to do what? To move back up. That's that on Euro card. So I want to be thanking each and every one of us, Mr. Adewale, Mr. Adeyemi Olalekan, Mr. Ekpenski John, Niam, Angel, V, Sojifa Moroti, Dorothy Okoje, Idris Badamasi, Arubi Emmanuel Ogbaji, Chineju Osaji, okay. Afolabi Aishat Ayomide, Alebode Isedu, Alphonsus Ikediashi, AY, Awojobi Felix, Anthony, Kayode, Anieti Epong. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name well, but just kindly know that I'm calling your name to acknowledge you that, okay, yes, thank you for joining. Aremu Okpeyemi, AY, Anyun Felix Olugbenga, Davis Benebo, Christopher Lulu, Chinedu Chidebere, Catherine Ayin, Bluefield FX. I might not be able to call everybody's name, but please, if I don't call your name, don't feel like I'm not acknowledging you. I'm acknowledging you too. I'm saying a very big thank you to you. Dr. Ken E. Tiswell, Ebite Berita Ayapo, Edwin Badi, okay. And also at the same time, for some of the name, I might not be able to pronounce it well. So that's why I'm not calling your name, because I don't want to mother or father the name. You understand? So I'm sorry for that. But just bear with me if I call the name and I'm not still calling it well. I can see a particular name. Then the next one that followed is Endurance, Echo Bravo, Ega Revba. Endurance. Okay. Yes. Gabriel Oladonyibo and the likes. Hadizat. Everybody. Ese. Emmanuel Chukwuka. Everybody, I'm saying thank you for joining. Jackson Temitope, Jeremiah Abu. Thank you, and have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you very much.